Want to talk to you about today is one of the things that holds people back when it comes to starting a membership group. And when I talk about knowledge buckets, the knowledge buckets are all you need to start a membership group. Because all you have to do is you have to have some knowledge in one of three areas that you can share with other people and they want to see. That's all you need. A lot of people think that they have to have a book or they need to have millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers, and you don't need any of that stuff. All you need is specific knowledge. And what you want is that knowledge to translate into solving problems. I'll give you a couple of examples here in just a second. But for example, I'm going to flip this around so all you can see is this. Now, these are what I call the knowledge buckets, and they are three P's. They are profession or career, they are personal problem, and they are passion or hobby. And so all you need to do is decide which of those things you would enjoy the most. What of those would be the most fun to talk about? So, a profession or career, what am I talking about? For example, and I'm going to use real life examples that are going on right now and people that are just absolutely killing it using these examples. So, a profession, what do I mean by that? Well, let's say that you have been, and again, I'm using real life examples. Let's say you have been in a profession such as you're a project manager. All right. Let's say you're a project manager. And let's say you've been doing that for 10 years. Well, if you've been doing that for 10 years, you have the type of knowledge that is going to be beneficial to people, right? That want to get into that profession. You have that ability. So, what you're going to do is you're going to share that knowledge with other people. That's all you're going to do. And for example, if it's a profession, maybe it's how to get into that profession, or maybe it's how to be more successful in that profession. Maybe it's how to learn a specific skill within that profession. So any of those things works out really well. All right. So you don't have to worry about being some sort of internationally known expert. All you need to do is worry about what you know and how it can benefit other people. So, a profession. So, it could be anything such as, again, an accountant, it could be a project manager, um, it could be a landscaper, right? It could be anything you want it to be. Then you have a personal problem. For example, with a personal problem, it could be things that my wife has done. Now, one of the things that she has done in the past is she has um, found videos on YouTube, right? And then she has taken the information from those videos on YouTube and used it to solve problems. And in some cases, the videos that she has found, whether it's YouTube or Instagram, the videos that she has found has led her to get specific support in trying to do something. And I know this sounds kind of crazy and it sounds kind of difficult to really grasp, but let me just tell you about this. So, my wife recently had about a year ago, she had bariatric surgery. And so what she did is she found people that were creating content about bariatric surgery. And then she took them and that content and she connected with the person that was creating that content. And then by connecting with the person that was creating that content, she found out that they had programs or coaching or support that they were offering. And in order for her to get access to that, she joined a membership. And that membership, especially with the bariatric community, the membership was $199 a month. But because getting results from the surgery was important to her, she gladly paid that. And so that brings us kind of to our first lesson, which is you have to just remember that you don't spend somebody else's money for them. You offer a service and then you let them, hi, Agnes, how are you? What's going on? So you offer them a solution to a problem and then you allow them to let you know whether or not solving that problem is important enough that they will let you help them. Okay? So let me go back to this, but it's a personal problem. And so what it's normally is it's something that you have done, right? Where you've learned a lesson that you or a problem or an obstacle or a challenge that you've overcome, and then you can save people with your knowledge through that. You can save people time, money, or stress. How many people would pay if they could save people time, money, or stress? Hey, comment, how are you? How many people would pay to save time, money, or stress? Drop it in the comments if you would, because I've done that many times myself, right? So it's a personal problem. Now, that's one way to do it. Another way is number 3 is just a passion or hobby. I have I've connected with some people that have massive um they have decent followings, but you know what they also have? They have a skill that people are dying to learn more about. And that thing would be something to the effect of um let's say woodworking, right? Let's say you made videos about woodworking. Now, for this person, woodworking is their profession. But for most people, they want to learn woodworking just because they enjoy doing it. So it's a passion, it's a hobby to them. But who are they going to learn from? They're going to learn from somebody who probably has lots of experience and can show them a way to do something. Nice to meet you as well. So it's something where somebody has a skill or knowledge, and it's only because they've done it longer than you have, right? It's not because necessarily that they are so much more advanced than you. They're just a couple steps ahead of you. And so you can take that knowledge in any sort of hobby, whether it's painting or hunting or fishing or bowling or woodworking or breathing underwater, bird watching. It doesn't matter what it is, because all you have to do is go here on YouTube at any given time. Cooking works. Absolutely, cooking works. There's tons of people making monthly incomes by teaching cooking. But you're very unlikely to do it live here on YouTube. I am in Pennsylvania in the United States. You're very unlikely to do it live here on YouTube because YouTube doesn't really pay a premium to people that create that type of content. But if you can get them off of a public forum or a public platform like this, and you can get them to a private place that you know, well, welcome, welcome. I've got somebody in my community from the UK that I've connected with. But if you can get somebody um, off of a public place and you take them to somewhere you own, you have a much greater likelihood of turning that into monthly income. Now, I don't think I can share screens on my phone. Let's see if I can. I don't think I can. Um, I can choose a sticker though. That's a countdown. That's not going to help me. Um, and I was doing this and I was trying to figure this out because I wasn't sure. Um, I thought, oh, I can share. Okay. Oh, no, that's just sharing the that's just sharing the live with people. Um, no, I can't. I wish I could. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, for example, you can take something you know and you can turn it into, let me see if I can. No, I don't want to play a game. What are we doing here? Let me. No, it's not working for me. It's not working for me. I don't know why. Anyway, so, but you want to choose a place that you know, right? Or that you own, rather. You want to choose a place that you own. And if you're not choosing some place that you own, you are risking losing control of that place, right? You're risking control. And so, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't choose social media or you don't, and I don't really consider YouTube to be social media, but it's still public, right? So, what you want to do is you want to create a space that you own. And if you create a space that you own, then you're going to get the best possible outcome. Because the problem with media of any type, the problem with media is the fact that it can be taken away from you at any time, right? I at one point I had a sizable, if you will, I had a sizable audience on another platform, and all of a sudden, one day I tune into that platform, right? I log on, and my password to log on to my account no longer works. It no longer works. So I later found out that somebody had hacked my account on that platform and they had stolen my account. Now, I'm not going to say they stole my audience because what they were going to use my account for was completely different than what I had been using it for. So I don't think they maintained the audience, but they took down all my videos. They blocked me from seeing my own account, and they changed my email address and my password and my phone number on my account. That's what I'm saying. You don't own that. And if you don't own it, then you don't control it. And if you don't control it, you're not going to be able to maximize it. So, whereas this is much different, is because you can take something that you own. And let me see if I can find that. Where's that sticker? How do I get rid of that? Oh, there we go. So I can take something that I own, and then I am able to tell people, go here, and then I can connect with those people. Trying to find my group on my phone. Where is it here? But see, the reason we do this is because you want to take control. All right. You definitely want to take control because you don't want to live off algorithms, right? Like this little cartoon here. Just creating content is not going to do it. But if you can figure out a way that you can share your knowledge with people off of a platform, then you've got an opportunity to create monthly recurring income. So, and what I want to do is let's see if and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments here. All right, I will be happy to answer those questions. Because we're going to wrap this up in about wow, that is really delayed. That's crazy. But see, if you look at this, posting more won't make you more money, right? And trying to live off algorithms is not going to make you money. But if you can find a way that you can um if you can find a way that you can control it, then you're in a good spot, right? So, what am I talking about? Who here has heard of School? And when I say school, I mean SKOOL. Who's heard of School here before? Anyone? Anyone heard of School? No? All right. So, what I'm going to do here, since I'm having trouble sharing the things that I want to share, whoa, I don't know what happened there. So, here's what I'm going to do I'm going to flip my camera around. All right. I am going to turn off the big screen here. I'm going to flip my camera around and I'm going to show you School. This is School. And this is my school in particular, which is called Creator Cash Flow Circle. So in Creator Cash Flow Circle, this is for creators 40 to 60 who are stuck in the AdSense hamster wheel, right? Or I call it AdSense hell because you have good content. If your content was being used properly, then you would have the opportunity to monetize it in a much greater fashion than you currently are. But one of the things that I was talking about today was how do you find your ideal members, right? How do you find ideal members? Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to realize there are 4 boxes that you have to tick off to find your ideal members. And the first one, and so today what we're going to talk about is how to spot them, and more importantly, how to steer away from the people that aren't your ideal members. Because even if you build a community that you own, A great community with the wrong members will not last. So there are 4 boxes that we have to tick off here. The problem, they have to have the problem that you can solve. They have to have the urgency to solve that problem. They have to have the money to solve that problem, and they have to be ready to commit to solve that problem. So number 1, they feel the problem that you help them with. If they don't struggle, then the community won't have any value to them, right? But if they do struggle with that thing, the need has to be real and it has to be named. So it can't just be want to hang out with people that are interested in this subject. It's got to be something that they feel that they need. There needs to be something in them that says, I want to make progress now, not someday, but now. Because someday members drift and go quiet. That's why in the beginning, when I had a free community, I attracted a bunch of people that were not serious about solving the problem. Then they need to be able to and willing to invest in themselves to grow and solve the problem. Right? The right members value the growth enough that they're going to commit real resources to it. And then they have to get ready and decide that they are going to show up for this thing and they're going to be a real life committed member of that thing. Now, if you have all 4 of those, you have the problem identified, you have the urgency, you have the means, and they're ready to commit. You can't miss one of those boxes. You got to have all 4. But if you do, if you miss one of these boxes, they rarely stick around. All right. So if they're curious, so what is not the fit? Well, maybe they're curious, but they don't know what their problem is. Or maybe someday they're interested in solving the problem, but they have no urgency. Or maybe they are not ready to invest in the growth. Or maybe they're waiting on someone else to decide because they have to have the means, right? But when all 4 of these things line up, they stay. Real problem, real urgency, ready to commit. And that means a member that shows up. Now, members that show up is what you have to figure out for yourself. I can't tell you because I don't even know what your subject is going to be. But picture your best 5 members, right? And they're going to check off each of those boxes. Notice what they had in common. And then you build everything inside of yours for that person. And that's how you build something that will win. Now, as we end here, if you know somebody or you want to check this out and learn how you can do this, see, I've got 90 people in my community. And the cool thing about my community is there is a free trial for 7 days. Once the 7-day free trial is over, even if you decide to stay, it's $5 a month. So it's not a lot. Now, who's it for? It's for people that want to get paid for what they know, not how often they post. And it's for educational creators 40 to 60 or 40 plus who can't really make the AdSense thing work, but they want to make $1,000 every month plus consistently. Because what happens with most of the educational content creators that I've found, even if they get 30,000 views a month, they might make $60 a month. And I have been making, high 3 and low 4 figures a month with this platform called School now for over 2 years. And I have helped other people do likewise. If you can see right here, you see Ray. Ray was age 65. And in 6 weeks, He created 1,300 and I think it was like $23 a month in recurring revenue. Cindy created 3,000 a month in 30 days because she had a large audience already on another platform. And then Jay created a membership of 2,800 members in under 6 months. So what I did is I built this community for people that are sick of playing. They're sick of playing the algorithm game. So again, there's a free trial. It's a link right here on my YouTube. And if you want to try it out and see, and the cool thing about it is everything that I do inside of my community is what you do to build your own community, and then you just change it for whatever it is. And we've got community, classroom, calendar, and they help you collect cash. So if you want to start your own community, you can use my link and you can sign up for a 14-day free trial to start your own community. So guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I don't see any questions, so I'm going to get going. But I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope that you will check it out. And you can also check out a bunch of my other videos where I get more into depth, how you decide what your topic should be, who to go after, how to get those people, and how quickly you can set one of these up for yourself. Because quite frankly, you can set one of these up in about 30 seconds. And it's $9 a month. So, and if you use my link, you can schedule a one-on-one call with me where I'll help you do that. Okay? Take care, guys. Have a great rest of your day.